Right, so today we're going to talk about things I love and things I hate about my Mk2 Fabia.
Right, so the first thing I dislike about my car, well, hate, is the paint peeling. So we've got a massive paint peel up the bonnet, about here, and then coming on then, all across the roof is paint peeled to shit. The sides aren't too bad, there's a couple of paint chips by here. Paint is literally coming off on that, as metal door, literally just full metal. And then the sides, again, peeling off here. The back of the car, paint peeling's there, paint's peeling there, paint's peeling there. But this is kind of just like a Volkswagen thing, I'm assuming. Because a lot of the Fabias I see just end up with peeling paint everywhere, whether it's red, green, blue, orange. But yeah, so I got a lot of paint peeling all around the car, and that's one thing I dislike. Okay, so some Skoda Fabia Mk2s came with front fog lights. So you can't really see really. Here we go. So mine is just plastic inserts on both sides. So I would like to buy some Fabia Roomster fog lights and wire them in myself. That way I could also have some really yellow fog lights to match with the blue paint. A bit like a Subaru in a way. So another thing I hate about my car is that although it's on new alloys, it's still on the stock height, which leaves quite a large arch gap, to be honest. It's easily a fist, which is far too big, especially on the rear. The rear is probably about 2 fists actually. So I could really do with say 35-meter lowering springs, because this is a daily car, so I do need to sort out the suspension because it's far too tall. Another thing I really dislike about this Mk2 Fabia is that there is basically little to none aftermarket support. So for instance, the best modifications I could do was nick that off a Fabia that had alloys, because mine did not. Mud guards that you can't really see. Let's go around to the back so you can see them. Let's do it. There we go. So I got some mud guards on it. Badges. They obviously they are just something you can grab off eBay. Pinstripe that the previous owner had done. A lot of it is just painting, to be honest. It's a bit mucky, but like painted wing mirrors, not great, but you know. Some, you can't really see in this one. Let's go with this one. Some whiter lights in the headlight that I did. Fabia stripe that's custom. That was custom made at the shop. White grille. Another badge again. But other than that, there's not a lot of aftermarket support. A lot of it is for like the diesels, just the diesels mainly, or the Mk2 VRS. This is a 1.2, so unfortunately there's not a lot I can do there. Going back to handling, this car is known to have probably the worst suspension that the Volkswagen Audi group has ever put out, in my opinion. It's alright, but it's not great. Going over corners, you get a lot of body roll, you get a lot of sort of squeaks from the suspension when you're going over, well, when you're going over speed bumps, going over any bump. It's quite a firm, it's not very firm actually, it's quite a soft ride, so it's sort of like, it bounces everywhere. It really needs some sort of coilovers or lowering springs to make this car feel even better. But again, unfortunately, on the 1.2, there's not a lot of choice as to what springs, coilovers, all that shit that goes on the car. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Polo springs fits on it. Maybe Ibiza springs fit on it. But as far as I know, the Fabia has independent springs and cannot be used anywhere else in the back scene. So, moving on to the engine. Another thing I really hate about this car is that the engine is so underpowered, it's unreal. So this is a 3-cylinder, 1.2 petrol with my own custom intake that's not great, but is alright. It's a cold air intake, but it's not. But all in all, it just doesn't make a lot of power. It's very... You've got to put it in like the lowest gear ever and rev the tits off it just to get to 70. It's not fun, basically. It's not a fun car. It makes 58 brake horsepower, 108 newton meters, or 103 newton meters this model is. So yeah, it's basically a bit shit. Okay, coming to the inside, another thing I dislike, because this is a base model, the rear speakers are not there. There's no rear speakers. There is literally just a cutout and a grille. But that's it. On the fronts, however, 2 seconds. Corsa VXR. On the front, however, there is a speaker behind there, but no rears. So that's another thing I dislike. Alright, moving on to the inside. The Mk2 Fabia has its reverse gear, well, its gears is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, you can't find a gear knob that, well, at least I couldn't find a gear knob that had reverse up where first was. So I've had to put one on that has reverse down here, but there's no gear. Reverse is actually down and then up. So that's another thing I hate about this car. Okay, so another thing I really dislike about this car is that the handbrake that I've got at the moment is awfully stretched. So you can't really tell, but it's basically a vertical, yeah, the handbrake is basically vertical. It should only be about, I think it's about 3-4 clicks to fully hold this car. On a flat like here, it's still about, I think it's about 5-6, so it's only a little stretch, but it is still a pain in the ass. On a hill, however, I've literally got to yank the whole fucking thing up, like all the way up, and then starting after doing that is a pain in the ass, because obviously I've got to pull the fucking handbrake down, slap it into first, well, put it in first, slap the handbrake down, and then shoot off, and that's a pain in the ass.
Okay, so here now are the things I love about my Fabia.
So, the things I love consist of this Fabia stripe. I've never seen a Mk2 Fabia with a stripe down the front that's white, that says Fabia, and is actually somewhat pretty cool. So yeah, I love this fucking stripe. So, another thing I love about this Mk2 Fabia 1.2 HTP is my exhaust. So, under here is a muffler delete, as you can see. So, it makes a pretty sporty sound, considering it's a 1.2. So again, I did these alloys myself. I stole them off a 2 seconds. I stole them off the 1.4 TDI 3-cylinder PD70 estate, and I've chucked them on the 1.2. I mean, you know, they're not great because they are just the factory standard alloys, but this car didn't originally come with alloys, it came with steelies. So to have alloys on it now is pretty fucking cool. And because they are factory, they clear the brake caliper really, really well. So there's no issues with fitment there. So a few of my favourite things are the badges that I mentioned earlier. They look fucking sick. They are the wrong colour blue, but they look pretty cool. The white grille that was done by myself with my friends and my missus. And we did them ourselves, and it looks really clean considering. Blue on white actually suits this car really, really well. So thanks for the first owner doing the pinstripe to make me think the blue and white would go really well with this car. So another reason I love this car is because it has so much space in the rear. So much space in the front seats, including the passenger seat. And it has so much space in the boot. You could probably fit about 3 bodies in there if you're into that. So yeah. So despite what many people will think, this 1.2 HTP, for me at least, has been really reliable. So, you know, a lot of the things people say is that the timing chain tensioner will snap and break and lead to catastrophic engine failure. Fortunately, with mine, I haven't had that issue yet. It is on 54,000 miles. And I'm pretty sure it's at the timing chain changed. If not, I'm probably going to have to do that soon, so that may be a video that might have to come out. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's yeah, it's pretty reliable. It's really easy to work on. You know, you've seen the engine bay, there's loads of space. There's loads of space outside of it. The only main issue is like the headlights. Obviously the bumper's got to come off. But that's kind of standard for all cars as far as I'm aware. Most cars you have to take the bumper off to get the fucking headlight off. So, not that much of an issue. Also, again with the exhaust, due to the muffler delete and partly the flexi pipe having some sort of leak on it, it actually manages to pop while I let off while I'm driving. It is better in second gear, and I'll try and film some clips, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to put one. If I do, I'll put one by ear. So, another few things I love about this car is that it's cheap to insure and cheap to run. So, it's basically an all-rounder for your first car. You know, it looks the part. It looks the part. It could sound the part, kind of, not really. But yeah, it's cheap to insure, cheap to run. With the back box delete, it is a little bit more expensive to run it because the MPG is further down, but I'm pretty sure on this car standard it makes around about 56 miles per gallon or 60 miles per gallon, just normal driving, like combined. So yeah, it's pretty good. Another thing I love about this car is that it looks, in my opinion, better than the Mark 1 and Mark 3 Fabias. This is probably the best Fabia they brought out. It is, you know, it's a clean hatchback. It's got a lovely front end. The rear end is lovely. You can't go wrong. It's a really nice fucking car. It's beautiful. Hiya. Oh shit. No, it's okay. The fuck? Where are you guys off to, Anne? No? You just wanted to fuck with my video?